What is going on, guys? Bruin Steel here. Welcome back to another WWE broadcast. I'm your host, Bruin Steel. I am once joined by Canadian Yorker, and we are here to recap the Monday Night Raw that took place July 1st. And it took place in Boston, Massachusetts. And we are on our way to Money in the Bank, which is this weekend, this Saturday in Toronto. So this is the Monday Night Raw, July 5th, 2024. How's it going tonight, Canadian Yorker?
I'm doing great tonight. How about yourself?
Good. So, any feels for Money in the Bank? It's gonna be a hell of a show. Can't wait to see it. We actually did our predictions, so video will be coming up later on. So, but let's get started with this Monday Night Raw recap. So, we first off start with Jey Uso opening up the show, and he welcomes us to Monday Night Raw, and he talks about the Money in the Bank ladder match, which he says he's gonna win. And then Chad Gable interrupts Jey Uso and said that ye isn't a word. He said that if you want to see miracles, he said that Chad Gable is gonna win. Chad Gable said he was gonna win. But then he said that Jey Uso should be scared of the Wyatt Six. He said that Jey Uso stole the Fireflies, and he said that the Wyatt family should go after Jey Uso for abandoning his family. But then Jey Uso said that Chad Gable bullied his family, and he said that he's not gonna. He said that he left his family because of scumbags like Roman, whoever, and he's called Chad Gable kind of like a scumbag, I guess, which snapped Chad Gable, ending in a brawl, which Jey Uso got the better of Chad Gable, and once again the lights go out. Jey Uso actually was hiding under the ring. I don't know why you do that because Nikki Cross is under there. But Chad Gable once again gets hunted down by the Wyatt Six one by one. But then Chad Gable actually managed to escape. I actually thought the Wyatt Six was gonna get him this time, but no. But once again, Nikki Cross once again gives Michael Cole a another package. Sister Abigail, Nikki Cross, and we go to break. So another package for Michael Cole and another VHS tape in the box, ending the opening segment. So any thoughts on this opening segment with Jey Uso, Chad
Um,
Gable, and the Wyatt Six returning once again?
yes. It's funny when I saw the intro when Jey Uso came in. He did his piece. He's saying he's going to go to Money in the Bank. He's going to win Money in the Bank. Chad Gable comes out. He said he's going to win Money in the Bank, and Chad Gable says to Jey Uso that he saw the Fireflies. But interestingly enough, Jey Uso should make peace with the Wyatt Six. Jey Uso comes back and says that he basically gave the Fireflies back to the Wyatt Six. So he basically essentially made peace with the Wyatt Six. So the Wyatt Six are not going to come after him, and that's an interesting point. That's pretty interesting because Jey Uso gave the Fireflies back to the Wyatt Six. Um, there's definitely some storyline building there with the Wyatt Six uh, going after Chad Gable. Um, they have reason to go after Chad Gable because Chad Gable like made Alpha Academy leave him. It wasn't their fault. It was his fault that they left, and we'll have to see what's going to happen with the Wyatt Six and Chad Gable going forward. They're definitely going to keep on tormenting him um, going forward, and they might. I mean, we might see something happen with Chad Gable and Wyatt Six and Money in the Bank. You never know.
All right, so moving on to the first match of the Monday Night Raw, we got Karrion Kross going one on one with Xavier Woods. Um, So last week we saw Karen Cross going one on one with Kofi Kingston, but then Kofi got distracted because the Final Testament attacked Xavier Woods in the backstage. Like Karen Cross is trying so hard to separate Xavier Woods from Kofi. So Karen Cross is trying to make Xavier Woods leave Kofi Kingston A couple times in this match, we've seen Karrion Kross offer a hand to Xavier Woods. Like Karrion Kross wants to really, really split the New Day, so he wants Xavier Woods to realize that. He wants to make Kofi realize that maybe Xavier Woods is using him or whatever, but Xavier Woods wants to make friends with Xavier Woods. Maybe Kross is offering Xavier Woods a spot on the Final Testament, but Xavier Cross's has been his goal has been just to split the New Day, and I don't know if it's going to work out. He keeps offering a hand to Xavier Woods, but it doesn't work out. Xavier retaliates with chops. This match was great, but then Xavier Woods, got a little cocky. Still tried to shake Xavier Woods' hood, but Xavier refused. But then the cockiness got to him. Xavier Woods was able to hit a small package pin on Karrion Kross. Xavier Woods defeats Karrion Kross by pinfall, but post-match, Author of Pain hit the ring and beat down Kofi Kingston and Woods. And then, knowing that Karrion Kross wants to split the New Day, Xavier Woods tries to break Kofi's arm, and it doesn't look like he has that arm. He had that arm submission applied, and Kofi was screaming. Xavier was taking it too far. It really looked like he broke Kofi's, but I feel like Kofi's going to be out for a bit. It didn't look good once Karrion Kross hurt his arm, and then Woods checked on his buddy. He stares at Karrion Kross, and once again, Karrion Kross yells out at Woods, "You want to shake my hand now?" And Woods is pissed off, checking on Woods. So, chills, man. We might actually see the split of New Day. And I said, I left some comments on highlights saying that we could easily see a Judgment Day 2.0 right here. We could see, Kofi getting hurt like Rhea Ripley did, and then maybe once Kofi still is out, we can see maybe Xavier Woods maybe warming up to Karrion Kross. Maybe we have to see what happens. But man, this storyline is interesting. I feel like with Kofi out, I think Xavier Woods will probably betray Kofi. Kofi will come back, but then maybe Xavier Woods will come through to Karrion Kross and then maybe betray Kofi. We'll have to see what happens. But what are your thoughts on Xavier Woods defeating Karrion Kross by pinfall?
I think it's interesting that Xavier beat Karrion Kross, and for the longest time we've been going back and forth and about how the New Day and the Final Testament have just been going at it, and all of a sudden we have some interesting things that are going on with the New Day and the Final Testament. The New Day is being, the way I see it, Karrion Kross is playing mind games with Xavier Woods and Kofi. Karrion Kross, excuse me, Karrion Kross has gotten into the heads of Kofi and Xavier. Karrion Kross has driven a wedge between Kofi and Xavier, and honestly, was seeing the New Day break up as a result of this, because there's always been these two guys. They don't have a third guy that's there to keep them in line and help them stay together as a unit. They don't have Big E. It's just Xavier and Kofi. And maybe it's time for the New Day to break up. Maybe it's time for Kofi to go a separate way and Xavier to go a separate way. I think it's time that Xavier Woods has his own thing, and that's what he's doing. He's doing his own thing, and he's joined the Final Testament, which makes the Final Testament an interesting faction right now, because we don't really hear a lot about the Final Testament going forward, and these guys need a push. They need something to keep them interesting, and this is what's making them interesting. They're taking over one of the most dominant tag teams in the past tag teams ever, and they're adding one of their best tag team members um, to their unit, and so that Xavier Woods really brings a lot of his experience as a former champion to the unit, which is what they need. And Kofi Kingston, as good as he is, he really needs a singles push as well, because we need to see more of Kofi doing a singles run, making maybe getting another shot at WWE Championship. That would be wonderful. He definitely won it the last time, and he lost uh, in a horrible fashion to Brock Lesnar. So I think it's time to break up the New Day. I mean, honestly, we need a feud between
And
Xavier.
they say that they're not as the same when they had Big E's, and people are saying that, oh, because the whole storyline with Kofi getting hurt, they said that maybe Big E might be coming back, but no, I don't think Big E's coming back. It's clear as day that his injury is that bad, and Big E said in an interview saying, yeah, the doctors told him not to go ever wrestle again, so we probably just saw the last Big E once he got the injury. He's probably going to be co-host of WWE pay-per-views as he always been. So, yeah, I feel like the New Day is going to split, but I feel like they're all still going to be friends off camera on, I feel like one person could turn on the other, but they'll still be friends like off script. But we have to see what happens. But moving on, we see Damian Priest and Dominik Mysterio walking and talking. Once again, Priest asked Dom if he has talked to Rhea Ripley. But Dominic said that everything's great. But then, yeah, Dominik Mysterio gets caught in a lie saying Damian Priest said that he talked with Rhea Ripley. And Damon Priest said that Rhea Ripley is pissed off. So nice try, Dom. You got caught right there. So Rhea Ripley is pissed off. So have fun with that when Rhea Ripley returns. And then Damon Priest get caught by Finn Balor. So Finn Balor said that Damon Priest is the issue right now. We see Finn Balor talk with Damon Priest about what Damon Priest has done about putting his Judgment Day place on the line against Seth Rollins and how they had that talk. Yep, it was coming. Everyone knew it was coming. They had that talk when Damian said that the Judgment needed him more than he needs the Judgment Day. And Damon Priest once making an excuse saying that, oh, when Rhea Ripley was champion, everyone needed her, but now I'm champ, everyone needs me. But then Finn Balor doesn't buy it, and he said, since you won that title, you changed. So we could we can definitely see a face turn by Damien Priest. I just feel like, eh, but Damon Priest getting caught by Finn Balor and Dominic getting caught by Damon Priest, so we have to see what happens. So intense. It's intense. So, and we obviously see Liv Morgan hanging out in the clubhouse, which is a sign that ooh, that's you know. So, any quick thoughts before I move on?
Yeah, Rhea Ripley is definitely getting kicked out of Judgment Day, and I don't know it for sure or not, but I think it can. This, like I said, I've been saying again, time and time again, this can go either way. We're gonna have to see how it turns out. Damian Priest is turning on the Judgment Day, and the Judgment Day is turning on Damian Priest. That's the way it's going to go. And Finn Balor is definitely going to be the one turning on Damian for sure. I definitely see that happening
All
because
right.
Finn Balor definitely has a problem with Damian Priest, like in the back of his head. So
All right, so moving on to the next match of Monday Night Raw, we got Liv Morgan. So honestly, I thought this was going to be the main event. I guess not. So Liv Morgan defending the WWE Women's World Championship against Zelina Vega, and I kind of said it before. We all know Liv Morgan was going to win. We all knew Dominic was going to come out and help Liv Morgan. Yes, Dominik Mysterio did come out, but then Liv Morgan saw that he was helping her. Yeah, it was Dom. You can't fool us. Once again, Dominik Mysterio pretending to not help Liv. Um, Dominik Mysterio was out there trying to make things right with Mommy by helping Selena Vega beat Liv, but we all saw clear. It's all clear that Dom is just helping Liv. So midway, Dominic comes out and Liv is the Morgan is like, yeah, there you go. But Dominic is acting like he's helping Selena win the match. At the end of this match, um, Dom tried to get involved, and then Rey Mysterio came out to interfere. That's when, that's when Selena Vega was so close. Liv Morgan drop kicked Rey Mysterio once Rey Mysterio pushed his son to the ground. Zelina Vega with a 619, and then a DDT. So close. Kick out at 2.5. But then Dominik Mysterio, pretending to help Vega, slides a chair to Zelina Vega and says, hit Liv, hit Liv, hit Liv. But then the referee warned him, but Zelina Vega doesn't want Dom's help, but it cost her. But Zelina Vega hits Dominik Mysterio in the face with the steel chair instead. um, but then Liv Morgan, pretending that Dom is her man, gets pissed off at Zelina Vega, gets the open, hits Oblivion. Liv Morgan hits her finisher, Oblivion, on Zelina Vega, gets the 1-2-3. Liv Morgan defeats Zelina Vega by pinfall, retaining the World Championship. Dominik Mysterio, pretending that he's disappointed, gets the fuck away from Liv while Liv is like, yay, thank you, Dom. But Dom's pretending that he doesn't give a crap and is pissed off that Liv won, ending the segment. So Liv Morgan retains the title. No surprise there. It was kind of predictable. Dom once again pretends that he's not helping Liv, but you're actually your man. But what are your thoughts?
I mean, if Dominik really wanted Liv to lose, he didn't have to do all that. He didn't have to go out that way and help her like that to help her win. Obviously, he didn't have to help her win. He could have just sat right there and watched Zelina Vega beat beat Liv Morgan clean 1-2-3. She had that opportunity, obviously, but Liv Morgan took advantage of the moment and she delivered and she got the win. Um, as much as I'm a fan of Zelina Vega, I believe Zelina Vega does deserve a chance to have a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. She could definitely win it, just like Rey Mysterio won it. She definitely deserves it. Um, but she just has to go back and review what she messed up on and try not to make the same mistakes again. And obviously, Dominik, interestingly, Rey Mysterio came in there. Rey Mysterio was trying to help Zelina out, but Rey Mysterio couldn't help her out because Dominik was. I mean, I think Rey Mysterio should have done more to help Zelina Vega out. But, you know, it's just that's the way the things go sometimes. And Dominik looked like he wasn't happy about that Liv won, but I think inside he was happy that Liv won, despite the fact that he was showing that wasn't happy she won. And obviously, I do know that Rhea Ripley must not be happy with seeing Dominik constantly help Liv Morgan every single chance she get her title was on the line. This is just sacrilegious. Not sacrilegious, but this is
I
just
can just, I can just,
crazy.
I can just see Rhea Ripley returning and then confronting Dom, and then can just see Rhea Ripley just slapping the shit out of Dom. I can see it.
Yep.
I feel like that's gonna happen. I feel like that's gonna happen, and then Liv Morgan's gonna get pissed off at that and then pounce on Rhea. I would like to see that. Rhea Ripley just slap the shit out of Dom, and then Liv protects him, and then just jumps on Rhea, attacking her.
Yeah, it's wild how
Yeah,
Rhea Ripley is going to be very upset. Rhea Ripley already is
yeah,
pissed
yeah.
about what's going on,
Um,
and Dom's just playing it off like nothing, like he's just so nonchalant. Oh, everything's fine. When he knows everything is not fine, but the stuff is going to hit the fan once Rhea Ripley comes back. That everything is going to hit the fan. It's going to be crazy. There's going to be a lot of
all right.
drama
Let's
happening.
move on. All right. Yep. It's a lot of talk. Try to get this video short. But moving on. We got Seth freaking Rollins making his entrance and getting on mic. He says, "Welcome to Monday Night Rollins." He said he's gonna win the World Heavyweight Championship back on Saturday, and he said that he needs to win the title back. He said if he doesn't beat Damian Priest, then he won't get another crack at the title. That means he would just have to reevaluate his legacy. And then he said that he doesn't want to break up the faction. He just wants Priest to be the better version. But then he gets interrupted by Finn Balor, and we all know the history between Finn and Seth. Finn Balor says that he blames Seth Rollins for changing Damian Priest. And Seth said that Priest is his own man, making his own decisions. Seth Rollins suggests that Finn is jealous, and said that he's jealous that he can't win the World Heavyweight title. But then Damon Priest comes down, and Seth is like, "Oh, there's the trap." But Damon Priest said there's no trap because it's his business and no one else is going to get involved. So Finn Balor thought that they were going to attack Seth Rollins, but Damon Priest didn't want to. Kind of confused to Finn Balor. That kind of like showed that maybe Damon Priest will be having a face turn at Money in the Bank. He doesn't want to attack people, but he only attacks Seth Rollins, which happens. Um, Rollins wants to fight Damon Priest. He can't wait, but then Finn Balor attacks Rollins, and then Damon Priest doesn't go along with the attacking Seth Rollins with Finn. He actually pulls Finn Balor off Seth Rollins. So, and then basically they get into a confrontation, and then that's when Seth lays out Finn Balor and hits the stomp. That's when Damon Priest said, fuck it. And then Damon Priest hit the South of Heaven on Seth like it was nothing, and then checks on Finn Balor. So Damon Priest doesn't want to attack, but he only attacked to save his boy Finn Balor. So interesting. So what was the odds? What would happen if Seth didn't beat Finn? No one would have gotten attacked. So what are your thoughts on the Damon Priest, Finn Balor, and Seth segment?
I'm just wondering what is causing Damian Priest to hesitate attacking his opponents because
Because the thing
he
is like
never hesitated.
I think it's just a tease that he's gonna turn babyface.
Uh, well, I honestly, it's just showing more and more signs. There are more and more signs coming out that Damian Priest definitely is going to turn on the Judgment Day, and it's going to happen. Finn Balor, you know, just doesn't like we know his history with Seth Rollins. He doesn't like Seth Rollins, and he definitely, as much as he is happy to be the tag team world champion, he definitely wants that heavyweight championship. And I mean, down the line, Finn Balor is going to be challenging Damian Priest for a world heavyweight championship in the future. I see that happening down the line.
All right. All right, moving on to the next match. We got our last women's Money in the Bank qualifying match, triple threat match with Dakota Kai, one half of Damage Control versus Ivy Nile versus Zoey Stark. So, this was a great match. It was awesome. I love it. Look, I just say this: people saying that, oh, isn't Triple H a fan of Dakota Kai? Why is Dakota Kai being buried? But this was a great match until once again I knew there was going to be interference. Kyrie Sane coming to run interference. Zoe Stark is just a hell of an athlete. But at one point I thought Dakota Kai was going to have it, but then Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn equalize and interferes with Kyrie Sane. So the women's tag team champions come down and run interference. And then Zoe Stark capitalized with a Z360 on Dakota Kai. Zoe Stark defeats Dakota Kai and Ivy Nile to become the last woman qualifying for the Money in the Bank. So what a Money in the Bank ladder match we have. But people are saying, oh, why does it have to be Dakota Kai getting pinned? I just feel like it's a storyline leading to a breakup of Damage Control. But Zoe Stark defeats Dakota Kai and Ivy Nile to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match. What are your thoughts on this?
Um, yeah, I definitely see that Dakota Kai and Dakota Kai and Kylie Sane have some unfinished business with Ilsa Dawn and Fyre. And I believe Damage Control is definitely going to be feuding with Ilsa Dawn and Fyre because despite the fact that Io Sky is going to be in Money in the Bank contestant, um, Kylie Sane and Dakota Kai could definitely challenge the tag team champions for the championship belt and possibly win back the championship. I'm saying possibly. It might not happen though because they're the champions. Um, for Ivy Nile, I don't know what's going on with Ivy Nile and her being buried as well. She obviously needs a push too, obviously, because we haven't seen much of her in action. She looked like a really dominant wrestler, really strong, really powerful. But so far, it's been lackluster as a wrestler. We need to see more Ivy Nile going forward. For Zoe Stark, it's a great pickup win for Zoe. Zoe hasn't had a Money in the Bank in a while, so for her to get the Money in the Bank is great for her. Uh, she's been have to see how she's going to do at Money in the Bank with the other Money in the Bank contestants for the women's Money in the Bank contract. So um, yeah, it's exciting to see what's going to happen with her and going forward.
All right, so moving on, we get to see the new Wyatt videotape. So we get to see another Uncle Howdy and Bo Dallas interview. Bo Dallas says how much longer it will be, and then they pretty much said that, oh, now the false prophets belittled their family from their own gain, and it's disgusting. They must pay for their sins. I'm not gonna talk too much about it. So what I heard from this tape, this Bo Dallas tape, is that the Wyatt families are going after people that betrayed their family. So that's why they're going after Chad Gable. They could go after Jay, but we have to see. But basically, those who betrayed their family, you got to watch their back. That probably includes maybe Sami Zayn. I don't know, but we have to see that down the down the road. But not gonna talk too much about that. So moving on to the next match, we got father versus son. We got a WrestleMania rematch. We got Dominik Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio. So a father versus son, and then once again, like I said, I actually thought that it was gonna happen, but no, I was wrong. But Liv Morgan still came out to run interference. But then, you know, uh, Rey Mysterio drop kicked Dom to the ground. Rey Mysterio was about to hit Dom with the 619, but then Liv pulled him out of the ring, and then that's when Rey Mysterio kicked Dom onto Liv, and that's when we got that weird. Now we got Dom on top of Liv, like just so it's like, oh my god! And Liv was laughing. It's like, wow, it's reversed. So we saw Liv on Dom a couple weeks ago, and now we see Dom on Liv, but it doesn't look like Dom wanted it. I mean, we know deep down that Dom wanted that. So, but then Rey Mysterio took his son off Liv, and then Liv once again got involved. But then Zelina Vega with some payback gets involved. Um, Dom to the top of the rope, but Zelina Vega pushes Dom Liv off of the top rope, causing Dominic to stumble on the top rope. And then Rey Mysterio was a 619 in the corner. Then Dom falls to the ground. Rey Mysterio up to the top rope with a springboard splash, gets the win. Rey Mysterio defeats his son once again by pitfall. And Liv Morgan's like, I'm so sorry, I'll make it up to you, I'll make it up to you. And then Dom's just pissed off. So, Rey Mysterio, not how Dom wanted this match to go, but thanks to Zelina Vega, Rey Mysterio picks up his third win over Dominik Mysterio. Yes, Rey Mysterio is 3-0 against his son. He owns your ass. Fathers always own sons, man. But Rey Mysterio defeats Dominik Mysterio by pitfall. What are your thoughts on this match?
It's great to see that Rey Mysterio is still kicking butt, still kicking butt, still kicking Dom's butt. That's exactly what Dom gets for kicking his father's butt. But guess what? You always can't win against your dad. Dad is always going to pull some trick up his sleeve and get the win over you. And that's exactly what happened with Dom. So Rey Mysterio picks up a win against Dom. I'm happy to see that happen. It would be horrible to see Dominic win against his dad because he got some help. He obviously doesn't need help to win against his dad. He can do it himself. Um, so Rey Mysterio picking up a win against Dom is wonderful. And obviously, Rey Mysterio does obviously want nothing to do with the situation going on with Liv Morgan and Dominik Mysterio at all. He wants to stay out of that business absolutely whatsoever. He's got to focus on his own business at the moment. So he wants nothing to do with that situation. And rightly so. I mean, the stuff that Dom is going to be in for with Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, and the Judgment Day is something that Rey Mysterio wants to stay clear and far away from.
All right, so moving on, we got Sami Zayn getting on his mic, addressing his Intercontinental Championship match with Braun Breaker. He said that he's not stupid. He hears the buzz. He knows how dangerous Braun is gonna run into him. He gets it. Braun Breaker is an athletic freak, but said that he's gonna beat Braun Breaker. And he said that he takes nothing away from Braun, but then he gets interrupted by Braun Breaker, who said Sami earned some of his respect last night by showing them, unlike everyone else, he's not scared, he got guts. But then Sami said that he knows how many guys he exactly said that he was going to get the job done. But then they said that Braun hasn't done his homework. He said that he's not as smart and good as he think he is. But then Braun turns away, but then charges back and spears Sami Zayn in the middle of the room. But then Sami fell out to the other side, and Braun is like lipping his lips, like, "Yeah, you're done." Um, Braun Breaker, at one point, Braun Breaker did go for another spear, but Sami Zayn out of nowhere sidesteps, and Braun Breaker goes hard into the steel steps. Sami beats him down on the floor, but then back inside, Exploder suplex in the corner. But then Sami Zayn's plan backfired once again. Braun Breaker just counters the Exploder with another spear. Well, excuse me, not counters the Exploder, sorry. It counters a Huluma kick by Sami into a spear, and that's what it rolls. And all I can say is good luck, Sami. But we made our Money in the Bank predictions. It's a risky pick. You know what we're talking about. But if you guys want to see our predictions, coming up. So, but what are your thoughts of this segment between Sami and Braun? We
It's
might
showing that
maybe we might want to maybe consider switching our pick, but I don't know.
maybe we will have to see what's going to be the results at Money in the Bank. Um, I mean, Sami Zayn has a lot of guts. Let's give him this. He has a lot of guts facing Braun Breaker for and putting his title on the line. But he is showing Braun Breaker that he's not afraid of Braun Breaker. Guess who Sami Zayn beat at WrestleMania? Sami Zayn beat Gunther. And Gunther was a much tougher opponent than Braun Breaker. I consider Braun Breaker to be Sami Zayn's second opponent. Sami Zayn has faced a lot of tough enemies. Sami Zayn faced not only Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn faced, uh, getting his name again, um, he faced Roman Reigns. He's faced a lot of different. He's faced Solo Sikoa. I mean, he's faced a lot of different tough opponents, and he has a variety of experience facing these tough guys, these strong guys. Despite that fact, Sami Zayn is he has a heart of a champion. He is a fighter, and he'll fight you tooth and nail until he can knock you out. And I mean, Von Baker should definitely watch out for Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn, if you might beat him down a lot, but then he's gonna get back up, and once he throws that one kick, one knockout punch, you're out. I mean, he's a tough guy. You can't count Sami out.
All right, so moving on to the main event of Monday Night Raw, we got our last triple threat men's qualifying Money in the Bank qualifying match. We got Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus versus Easy Knob Dragunov. This was a banger of a match. We all know how it goes with Sheamus, banger after banger after banger after banger. So this was a banger match. It just like was hard hitting. To start off the match, we see Drew McIntyre trashing talk to Sheamus, but Dragunov trying to get involved, but Drew pushing him a bunch, like multiple times, which was funny. But then Dragunov had enough and then kicked Drew McIntyre out of the ring, and that's pretty much the match. It was hard hitting, so many close calls, so many close pitfalls. I know that Dragunov hits the H bomb on, I think it was McIntyre, I think, or was it Sheamus or McIntyre? I forgot, but it was one of the two. It was on McIntyre. H bomb in the corner where he punches his opponent to the ground, but that was a 2.5 pin. Um, Sheamus hitting a Claymore, not Claymore, what the hell? Sheamus hitting a Broad kick on Dragunov, but couldn't put him away. Oh my god, it was great. But then Dragunov was out of it. Sheamus and Drew at the end. Rhodes sidestep, Schoolboy for two. But then Drew McIntyre was able to sneak in a Claymore kick on Sheamus. Drew McIntyre gets the 1-2-3. Drew McIntyre wins, qualifying for the Money in the Bank ladder match. Drew is going to the Money in the Bank ladder match at Toronto. Drew McIntyre defeats Dragunov and Sheamus by pinfall. And then post-match, Drew McIntyre said that he's going to leave Toronto as the World Heavyweight Champion. So well deserved, Drew. I kind of had expected this to happen. I kind of knew that Drew was going to win because we all want to see him get screwed by CM Punk. So, what are your thoughts on this match?
Honestly, yes. Uh, it wasn't a long shot that Drew was going to win against Sheamus, and also win against Dragunov. Both these guys are very hard hitting wrestlers. Sheamus is a hard hitting wrestler, and Dragunov is also a tough wrestler. Um, it was a hard hitting match. It could have gone either way. Sheamus could have won and gotten it. Uh, versus Dragunov could have won. It would be interesting to see if Dragunov won to be the contestant for Money in the Bank, and then you have Dragunov versus Andrade versus um, versus the other guys. That would be interesting to see that happen because we would see a totally different storyline going forward if Dragunov wins Money in the Bank and
he
um,
could have. He could have. I mean,
at
Dragunov
least,
could win, and then would have imagined cashing in on his old-time friend Gunther.
yeah, that would be interesting. If Gunther, you have Gunther versus Dragunov. Gunther beats Priest, and then Gunther versus Dragunov. That would be a very banger match right there. There's a
Yeah,
lot of things that can happen.
but it's not happening. But anyways, just want to give this out that Seth Rollins, during the Seth Rollins segment, he acknowledged my 2024 NBA champions Boston Celtics because Raw took place in Boston, baby, and I heard the "Let's Go Celtics" chant. So let's go Celtics! Thank you, Seth Rollins, for acknowledging my Celtics. So, but anyways, that would do it for Monday Night Raw broadcast. What a show! In terms of grading, I give this an A minus. I thought it was a great show. How about you?
I definitely would give it an A. I think it was a great show. There's a lot of great moments, and can't complain about the show. It's really great to see all these guys compete, and I have to see how things could progress going forward. Um, so it's going to be exciting to see what's going to happen in Money in the Bank.
All right, so that would do it for our broadcast. Thank you guys for watching. Just a heads up that me and Canadian Yorker did our Money in the Bank predictions video. It's premiering on my channel Thursday at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So tomorrow at 2. So be sure to check that out. As well as Canadian Yorker's channel, which his YouTube link will be in the description of this video, as well as our wrestling channel, WWE Wrestling Bros. That link will also be in the description of this video. If you're new to the channel, like, subscribe. And yes, Money in the Bank is this Saturday. I think it's in the evening. I'm not quite sure, but it'll be on Saturday streaming on Peacock. I'm definitely gonna watch it. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this broadcast. My name is Bruno Steele. This is Canadian Yorker. We will see you next time for the next broadcast, which hopefully is Friday Night Smackdown. So any last seconds before I end the video?
Nope, no comments.
All right, so see you guys later. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. See you later.
Okay. Happy 4th of July.
4th of July.